Amina was the new girl at Greenfield High School. It was a big school with many students, but Amina felt very small. She was quiet and shy. Today was her first day at this new school, and she hoped everything would be okay. She wore a simple, blue dress and carried a small backpack. As she walked into her new classroom, all eyes turned to her. The other students stared quietly, curious about the new girl. Amina took a deep breath and found a seat at the back of the room. She wanted to be invisible, but that was impossible. Everyone wanted to know who she was and where she came from. The classroom buzzed with whispers and quiet talks. The teacher, Mr. Collins, was a tall man with glasses. He smiled politely at Amina, but it was clear he was used to being the center of attention. As the class started, Mr. Collins asked everyone to introduce themselves one by one. When it was Amina's turn, she stood up slowly. Her voice was soft but clear. "My name is Amina. I just moved here. My dad is a pilot." The moment she said the word pilot, a few students giggled. Mr. Collins laughed loudly. "A pilot? Really? Do you think pilots are common here? Black kids don't usually become pilots," he said, joking, but his words hurt. The students laughed even more. Amina felt her cheeks burn with shame. She looked down at her desk, trying to hide her face. Her heart beat fast. She wanted to disappear right then and there. After class, Amina sat alone on the school bench. She watched the other kids playing and talking. Some were still whispering about her and laughing. She felt like she didn't belong here at all. But deep inside, Amina knew the truth. Her dad was indeed a pilot. A very good pilot. He flew helicopters for important missions, saving people and helping in emergencies. Amina was proud of him, even if no one else believed it. That evening, Amina's mom hugged her tightly at home. "Don't listen to those kids," she said softly. "Your dad is a hero. He flies high in the sky, and so will you one day." Amina looked at her mother and smiled weakly. "I want to show them. I want them to see that I'm not just the quiet new girl. I have a story too." Next day at school, Amina felt a little stronger. She walked into the classroom with her head held a bit higher. But the teasing did not stop. Some students whispered and made faces when she passed by. During lunch, Amina sat by herself under a tree. Suddenly, a girl named Sarah came and sat next to her. "Ignore them," Sarah said kindly. "I know it's hard, but you can prove them wrong." Amina smiled for the first time that day. "Thank you," she said softly. Back in class, Mr. Collins made another joke about pilots. This time, Amina raised her hand. Her voice was small but firm. "My dad is a pilot, and he works very hard. Please don't make fun of him." The class went quiet. Mr. Collins blinked, surprised. "All right, Amina, let's move on," he said. But there was a change in his voice. It was not as confident as before. Amina sat down, feeling a little proud. She still had a long way to go, but she was ready. That night, she looked at the sky. From her bedroom window, the stars twinkled like tiny airplanes flying high. Amina whispered, "One day, I will fly too." The next morning, Amina woke up early. She was nervous but excited. Today was going to be different. She felt a small fire inside her, a wish to prove everyone wrong. At school, the whispers and stares followed her again. But this time, Amina did not look down. She walked with her, shoulders straight and her head held high. She knew she was more than what others thought. During the morning assembly, something unusual happened. The school principal made an announcement. "Students and teachers, we have a very special visitor today," he said, his voice echoing through the hall. "Someone who shows courage, skill, and heart." Amina looked around, confused. Who could it be? The students were curious too. Everyone stopped talking and waited. Suddenly, the school gates opened wide. A helicopter landed right in the school playground, making a loud noise that shook the air. Dust flew everywhere. The students gasped and ran outside to see what was happening. The pilot stepped out of the helicopter. It was Amina's father, tall, strong, and calm. He wore a uniform with badges and a proud smile. Amina's heart jumped. She felt a rush of happiness and pride. She wanted to run to him but stayed, frozen for a moment. The principal smiled and said, "This is Captain Hassan, a helicopter pilot and hero. He flies rescue missions and helps save lives every day." The students stared in surprise. Some who had laughed at Amina yesterday now looked down, embarrassed. Mr. Collins, the teacher who mocked her, stood still. His face went pale. He could not say a word. Captain Hassan walked towards the school stage and waved. "Hello, students," he said kindly. "I want to tell you that hard work and dreams are important. No matter where you come from or what others say, you can achieve anything." Amina's eyes shined with tears. She felt her classmates watching her differently now. Some smiled at her with respect. After the assembly, many students came to talk to Amina. They wanted to know more about her dad. Even Mr. Collins approached quietly. "I'm sorry for what I said," he whispered. "You and your dad have my respect." Amina nodded. She forgave him. Today was not about anger. It was about truth. At home, Amina told her mother everything. "Dad was amazing today," she said, smiling wide. "I feel stronger now." Her mother hugged her tightly. "You have shown great courage, my daughter. This is only the beginning." That night, Amina sat by the window again. The stars looked brighter than ever. She dreamed of flying, not just in a helicopter, but soaring high in life. After the helicopter landed at school, things began to change for Amina. The students who once whispered behind her back now looked at her with new eyes. The same students who laughed when she said her dad was a pilot now wanted to be her friend. But not everything was easy. Some students were still quiet, unsure how to act. They had never seen someone like Amina before. Someone so brave and proud. Amina stayed strong. She knew her journey was not over. At school, the fencing team invited her to join. Fencing was a sport she had always wanted to try, but she was nervous. Her dad had taught her that courage is not about never being afraid, it's about facing your fears. So, she said yes. Coach Thompson smiled warmly. "You've got spirit. Amina, let's see what you can do." The first practice was hard. Amina felt her heart pounding. The other girls watched carefully. One girl, Sarah, looked at Amina suspiciously. She whispered to her friends, "Let's see if she's really good or just lucky." Amina didn't care. She listened to her coach and focused. Her dad had told her, "The sky is wide and open, just like life. You have to be ready to fly through the storms." During practice, Amina learned the steps and moves. She fell a few times but kept getting up. The other students started to cheer quietly. Her courage was inspiring. Outside school, Amina's dad, Captain Hassan, spent his days flying rescue missions. He would call her every evening. "Remember, my daughter," he said once, "sometimes people doubt you because they fear what they don't understand, but you are stronger than their doubts." One day, the school announced a special event, a helicopter safety demonstration. All the students gathered in the playground again. Captain Hassan landed his helicopter with skill and grace. This time, Amina stood proudly beside him. The principal said, "This is a day to learn, to be brave, and to dream big." Amina's teacher, Mr. Collins, watched quietly. He had changed. He saw Amina's strength and wanted to support her. During the demonstration, Captain Hassan showed how the helicopter worked. He explained how he saves people during storms and emergencies. Amina listened, amazed. She wanted to help others too, just like her dad. At the end, Captain Hassan said, "Never let anyone stop your dreams. You are the pilot of your own life." The students applauded loudly. Amina smiled. She felt her heart fly higher than ever. After the helicopter demonstration, Amina's life at school slowly started to change. Some students began to respect her, but not all. There were still whispers and looks that made her heart heavy. One day, Coach Thompson called Amina to his office. "We have a big fencing competition coming up," he said. "I want you to be on the team." Amina's eyes widened. This was her chance to prove herself, not just to others, but to herself too. But there was a problem. The school's fencing team was very good, and many students had trained for years. Some of the team members didn't want Amina there. They thought she was just a newcomer who didn't belong. Sarah, the girl who had whispered doubts before, was especially cold. She said to others, "She won't last long, we'll see." Amina felt the pressure, but she remembered what her dad had told her. When the wind blows hard, the pilot holds steady. You must do the same. She practiced every day after school. Her coach helped her with each step, teaching her how to move quickly and think fast. At home, Amina's father encouraged her. "You have something special," he said, "the courage to face fear. Use it well." School wasn't easy. Some teachers still doubted her, and some students avoided her. But Amina found new friends too, students who admired her strength and wanted to learn from her. One of them was Malik, a quiet boy who loved sports but never tried fencing. He said, "Maybe I can join too. If you can do it, I can try." Together, they practiced. Amina felt less alone. The day of the big competition arrived. The gym was full of students and parents. The air was thick with excitement and nervousness. Amina's heart beat fast as she stepped onto the fencing strip. Her first opponent was Sarah. The match started slowly. Sarah tried to intimidate Amina. The crowd watched in silence, then slowly started to cheer. Amina scored the first point. Sarah looked shocked. The match continued, tense and fast. In the final moments, Amina made a quick move, a perfect strike. The judge raised her hand. Amina had won. The gym exploded with applause. Sarah's face showed disbelief. Amina smiled, not out of pride, but because she had proven to herself that she was strong. After the match, Coach Thompson patted her on the back. "You did well, Amina. Very well." The students who had doubted her started to nod and smile. Amina's dad was watching from the crowd, proud and full of tears. That night, Amina dreamed of flying through the clouds with her father. After her big win, Amina felt like she was finally getting respect at school. But not everyone was happy. Some students started to feel jealous. They whispered behind her back and planned to make things difficult. One afternoon, as Amina was leaving school, she noticed a group of boys blocking her path. Their leader was Mark, a tall boy known for causing trouble. Mark sneered, "Hey, pilot girl, think you're better than us now?" Amina stayed calm, but her heart raced. She knew this wasn't just about fencing. It was about power and pride. "We all want to see how good you really are," Mark said. "Let's have a duel after school." Amina knew this was a challenge. If she said no, she would lose respect. If she said yes, she risked getting hurt. Her coach had warned her about students like Mark. "They don't want to fight fair," he said. "Be ready for anything." That evening, Amina prepared carefully. She practiced harder than ever. She wanted to be ready not just to win, but to survive. Her father helped too. He gave her advice from his flying days. "Stay calm, keep your eyes open, and don't let fear control you." The school gym was empty except for the two of them. The lights made long shadows on the floor. Mark looked confident. He swung his sword with power, but Amina was quick. She dodged and countered with sharp moves. The fight was fierce. Mark was strong but rough. Amina was fast and clever. Suddenly, Mark lunged, but Amina saw it coming. She blocked his attack and landed a clean touch. Mark stumbled back, surprised. Amina didn't stop. She kept moving, focused, calm. Finally, with one strong move, she won. The duel. Mark's friends looked shocked. They didn't expect her to be so good. But Mark was angry. "This isn't over," he said. "You'll regret this." Amina's heart pounded, but she stayed brave. After the fight, Coach Thompson said, "You did great today, but be careful. Some people don't like to lose." At home, Amina's dad hugged her tight. "You're strong, but never forget to be smart. You have a big future ahead." That night, Amina dreamed of flying high, but dark clouds were near. The Mize. Next day, Amina walked into school feeling strong but also a little uneasy. She knew Mark and his friends were still angry after the duel. She could feel their eyes on her as she moved through the hallways. In class, the teacher was kind to her, but some students whispered and gave cold looks. Amina kept her head up, but inside she felt the weight of their jealousy. During lunch, Amina decided to sit with her new fencing teammates. They smiled and welcomed her warmly. For the first time, she felt like she belonged. Suddenly, a loud crash came from the school entrance. Everyone turned to see Mark pushing another boy to the ground. The boy was one of Amina's friends from the fencing team. "Stay out of this," Mark growled. "This doesn't concern you." Amina's heart jumped. She wanted to help but didn't want to make things worse. Then, Mark's friends surrounded the fencing team. It looked like a fight was about to start. Before anyone could react, the school bell rang loudly, breaking the tension. The teachers rushed in to stop the fight. Later that day, the principal called Amina to his office. His face was serious. "I heard about the problems in the hall," he said. "We want to keep our school safe for everyone." Amina nodded, feeling the pressure. She wanted to speak, but the words stuck in her throat. After the meeting, Amina's dad came to pick her up. She told him what had happened. He listened carefully. "You're very brave, Amina, but sometimes bravery means knowing when to ask for help." That evening, Amina's dad made a surprising call. She didn't know who he was talking to, but his voice was calm and serious. "Tell them to watch the school closely. If Mark causes more trouble, we will handle it," he said. Amina felt a shiver. What did her dad mean? Was the danger bigger than she thought? At night, Max, their dog, growled outside the window. Amina looked out but saw nothing. The quiet neighborhood felt suddenly unsafe. The next morning, the school felt different. There was a new energy in the air. Teachers seemed more alert, and students whispered quietly in corners. Amina noticed a new man standing near the school gate. He wore a dark suit and sunglasses. His presence was calm but serious. Some students stared, unsure who he was. The principal introduced him as Mr. Carter, a new security officer assigned to the school. Mr. Carter watched closely as the students moved about. His sharp eyes caught Mark's friends trying to stir trouble again. When Mark approached Amina during lunch, he looked angry but careful. "This isn't over," he said softly before walking away. Amina's heart raced, but she stood her ground. After school, Mr. Carter came to speak with Amina's dad. They talked in low voices near the car. Amina watched, feeling curious but nervous. Later that evening, her dad told her, "Mark and his friends are dangerous. They think they can do anything without consequences, but we have help now." Amina felt a mix of relief and fear. She knew things were about to get serious. The next day, during fencing practice, the coach gave Amina extra training. "You're strong, and you have a good heart," he said. "Keep believing in yourself." That night, Amina's dad sat with her in the living room. He shared stories from his past, how he once worked with people like Mr. Carter to protect kids from danger. Amina listened closely, feeling proud of her dad, but also scared about the battles ahead. Suddenly, her phone buzzed with a message. "Stay safe, we're watching." Amina's eyes widened. The fight was far from over. The next morning, the schoolyard was buzzing with excitement. Rumors were spreading fast. Amina's dad was coming to the school. But nobody knew why. In the classroom, the teacher who had mocked Amina the first day sat nervously. He kept glancing out the window, clearly unsettled. Suddenly, a loud roar filled the sky. Everyone rushed outside to see a big helicopter slowly descending toward the school field. The helicopter landed smoothly, kicking up dust and leaves. Doors opened and Amina's dad stepped out, wearing his pilot's uniform. His calm and confident smile stopped everyone in their tracks. He walked up to the school with purpose. The teacher's face turned pale. He finally understood. Amina was telling the truth all along. Amina's dad spoke to the school crowd. "I came here not just as a pilot, but as someone who cares deeply about my daughter and this community. No one should ever be made to feel small or mocked for who they are." Mark and his friends stood far behind, watching silently, realizing they had been wrong. The teacher, now speechless, approached Amina quietly and whispered, "I'm sorry." Amina smiled softly, feeling a weight lift off her shoulders. Her dad turned to her and said, "You're strong and brave. Never stop believing in yourself." The helicopter's engine started again, ready to take off. But this time, Amina knew she had the strength to face whatever came next.